Coming up on Fulton Today, commissioners weigh in on the 2014 state legislative agenda items. Hear what they have to say. And Fulton jail officials find a solution to deal with their overcrowding issues at the Rice Street facility. Fulton Today is next.
From the Government Center in downtown Atlanta, you're watching Fulton Today with Shania Chavis.
Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. Fulton County Commissioners monitor the Gold Dome to see what happens with their approved legislative agenda items. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega has our story.
Fulton County Commissioners approved all but one of the 15 items in this year's county legislative package now under consideration at the Capitol. Grants Procurement Officer Christopher Boyd presented the package to the board and explained how the items were determined.
If there is a theme to this draft legislative agenda, is it to allow Fulton County to be treated uniformly with every other county throughout the state of Georgia.
The local legislation items that the board passed included bills about the homestead exemption increase, the Fulton County Jail, the millage rate supermajority appeal, the Fulton County Budget Act repeal, repeal of the Population Act and local constitutional amendments, the local small business enterprise program, and de-annexation. The general legislation items that the board passed included bills about the preservation of Fulton County, Medicaid expansion, the disproportionate share hospital program, the Affordable Care Act legislation, the MARTA Act revisions, the Security of County Facilities Omnibus gun legislation, and the Guardian Ad Litem Authority and funding legislation. The only legislative item the board held to obtain additional information was the South Fulton Incorporation legislation.
If passed, a referendum would be held on May 20th in the general primary whether to create a new city of South Fulton out of the existing unincorporated areas.
If additional legislation concerning Fulton County is presented by lawmakers, then the Board of Commissioners could later take a position on any such legislation. In Assembly Hall, I am Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Meanwhile, the intergovernmental agreement to house county inmates at 4 neighboring jails has been approved. And the jail lock repair and replacement project is nearing completion. Here now to talk to us all about this is Major Reuben Wingfield with the Sheriff's Office. Sir, welcome to Fulton Today.
Thank you, Shania, for having me.
Well, tell us how many inmates will need to be housed at these neighboring facilities, and just when will the process start?
We average about 150 inmates on the floor at any given time. So we're going to start with about 150 inmates. We're going to start with the qualifying them to be outsourced, and we're going to start that immediately. We should have inmates out of this facility by the end of the week.
And what determines what inmates will be transferred?
Low-risk inmates. Inmates with minimal medical issues, as well as inmates with minimal disciplinary issues as well. And we're also going to try to send inmates that have no known court dates or trials pending.
And Major, how do you all choose what facilities to outsource these inmates to?
Well, we choose facilities that we have partnerships with as well as mutual agreements with. We also try to choose facilities that mirror our accreditation features, such as our excellent medical facility. And of course, being a good steward of the taxpayer dollar, cost is always a factor as well.
And sir, I mentioned the locks. How is that installation process going, and when is it scheduled to be completed?
The lock replacement program's working very well. We're about 70% complete. We haven't had one inmate to be able to defeat or manipulate our new locks. And our targeted completion date, early to midsummer.
And Major, let me get your final thoughts.
Not being able to secure inmates inside of the cells creates not only a hostile environment, but also an unsafe environment for not only the inmates, but staff as well. We are excited to have outsourcing back as an option, at least until we can lower our inmate population.
All right, Major Reuben Wingfield with the Fulton County Sheriff's Department. Great information, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And a bit of sad news to share with you. The Sheriff's Office mourns the loss of a member of its K-9 unit. K-9 Deputy Marco was euthanized after the veterinarian found inoperable cancer. For the past 5 years, Marco and his partner, Sergeant Corey Henry, were inseparable. The K-9 specialized in sniffing out people and drugs.
They did great together. They were an excellent team, received commendations from various groups known from federal, state, and local agencies as a team to call whenever you need a drug dog or a patrol dog.
The duo would also make trips to area schools to educate students about the K-9 unit.
Marco was dependent on Sergeant Henry, and Sergeant Henry was a good provider, not only as a handler, but as a 24-hour confidant, friend.
The Sheriff's Office has 2 other K-9s that are a part of the bomb unit. And still to come, what brings together the U.S. Attorney, a county commissioner, and several young ladies? We'll tell you in our district-by-district coverage next.
You're watching Fulton Today.
A Fulton commissioner partners with the U.S. Attorney to inspire young girls to become leaders, and another talks justice and public safety with county leaders from across the country. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. Fulton County Chairman John Eves moderates a panel for the National Association of Counties Justice and Public Safety Symposium. Held in the Lowe's Hotel, the forum addressed the national standards for youth charged with status offenses. The District 1 at-large commissioner and Fulton County Juvenile Court Chief Judge Bradley Boyd discussed county initiatives to curb and prevent youth violence.
We want to be smart, we want to be thoughtful, we want to be creative in terms of trying to address the issues and the reasons why people resort to criminal activity, as opposed to trying to lock them up and just throwing away the keys.
Chairman Eves is also the chair of the NACO Juvenile Subcommittee. NACO is the only organization that represents county governments in the United States. District 5 Commissioner Emma I. Darnell addresses the 2014 final budget to her constituents. The vice chair and her board colleagues discussed the spending plan at its special called meeting last week.
So I just want to assure everybody, all of you new advocates on behalf of the poor, you will have plenty of opportunities to join with the other members of this commission who believe that not only at budget time, but throughout the year, we must, as the chaplain tells us before every meeting, remember the least of these. It's our human state. It's the human state of the county that we're interested in. The financial state is always okay. And this is no exception. We've come through the recession with another surplus, $84 million, after we paid all our bills and the deficit. It's the human state of this county that this Board of Commissioners places first, not only today, but every day.
During the budget process, a number of District 5 seniors participated during public comment about what they wanted funded this year. By law, the final budget had to be passed by the end of January. District 6 Commissioner Joan Garner represents Fulton County during the 2014 In Girls Leadership Symposium. Sally Yates, the U.S. Attorney from the Northern District of Georgia, sponsored the event at the Russell Federal Building. The commissioner, along with a number of female leaders in the region, addressed local young ladies on how they too can be future leaders.
Young women need all of the support that they can get. And so when you bring them together in a symposium like this, it really lets them see that they are amongst peers, that there is power in their voices, and that there are women who are professionals who are there to support them.
I think, it's a chance for girls at this really formative stage when in their middle school years, to have an opportunity to interact with women who are working on a variety of fields.
The In Girls Leadership Symposium was co-sponsored by In Girls. The In Girls program is a nonprofit organization that provides young women with the support, knowledge, and tools they need to attend college. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with a rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And when we come back, what you need to know before you head out to get a new tattoo or body piercing. Stay with us.
You're watching Fulton Today.
Portions of the following segment are part of the Fulton County Common Ground Initiative. Common Ground, the county's comprehensive solution to the problem of health disparities in the community.
Tattoo and body piercing shops are now under strict guidelines thanks to the Fulton County Health Department. FGTV's Lynn Vaughn explains what that now means for you.
I think it's a good thing, man.
Last month, the Board of Commissioners approved an ordinance that required tattoo and body piercing shops to follow strict guidelines from the health department.
It's going to be given a score, and if there are any deficiencies, people will be able to see those deficiencies just like they see when they go in a restaurant and they look at that score and they look at those critical violations.
There are about 100 body art shops in the county. They must each undergo an inspection by June. Now, under the new health regulations, the shops must use disposable needles and razors. And owners will have to pay a fee of up to $500 to operate.
You're going to see increased sanitation methods, and that oversight that we will provide to the industry is not only going to help the general public, it's going to help the industry too.
Each artist in these shops is required to pay a $100 fee, take a course developed by the health department, pass an Occupational Safety and Health Administration or OSHA exam, and get a physical to make sure they don't have any blood-borne diseases. The new guidelines are welcomed by many tattoo shop owners.
It'll stop a lot of illegal tattooing, and it'll clean up the business around here, actually. So I think it's a real good thing.
Reporting for FGTV, I'm Lynn Vaughn.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Meanwhile, health officials tell us that the number of whooping cough cases is on the rise. Whooping cough is a very contagious and most severe for babies. Medical Director Matthew McKenna says the disease is making a comeback because the latest version of the vaccine is safer, but the effectiveness decreases over time. The doctor recommends children to get a booster vaccine around age 11. Women should also get vaccinated during each pregnancy to protect themselves and their baby.
It can be deadly. It can cause the child to stop breathing, have seizures, very high fevers, can be very dangerous.
Dr. McKenna warns some adults may have the disease and not know it because it can feel like a persistent cough. For more information on where to go to get a whooping cough vaccine, call 404-612-1211. Fulton's Environmental Health Services team sets deadlines on how organizations can feed our homeless population. Here are the guidelines. Remember, when making food, make sure hair restraints are worn when preparing food. Food may only be dispensed from a permitted mobile unit. That unit has to be within 200 feet of a restroom, and all trash must be disposed of properly. This will prevent foodborne illness and waste.
What we're finding oftentimes is waste containers are left after this food is distributed to the homeless folks. That can lead to rodents, it can lead to other pests, and it really can have a negative impact on the community.
For more information on these guidelines, you can call 404-630-1301. And still ahead on Fulton Today, girls taking their anti-bullying message to the stage.
You're watching Fulton Today.
Well, it is never too late to learn something new. That was the lesson county employees heard as the library system held a class about eCampus. eCampus is an online learning tool developed by the library system. It has resources that can help with business training, continuing education, and test preparation.
I'm planning on taking the Microsoft Office type of classes, communicating classes, maybe the leadership classes. I'll be doing a lot.
eCampus also has information on everything from cooking to decorating. To access eCampus, go to the website on your screen. And finally, an anti-bullying concert not only entertained people, but it also had a very important message.
I am unique in my own way.
The all-girl group Sweet Tea sang and danced at the Bowen Bankhead Branch Library. There was also an anti-bullying skit.
We'd like to let them know that people care and that they don't have to feel bad because they're different. They should look at themselves as unique and special.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, about 1 in 4 students are bullied on a weekly basis. The victims are more at risk for depression, anxiety, and sleep difficulties. There will be other anti-bully events at the library system this month. To see a complete list, go to the website right there on your screen. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to hear from you about the stories and programs right here on FGTV. Go to our website to take a survey or email or call us. The number 404-612-8317. The email address is fgtv.feedback@fultoncountyga.gov. You can also follow us on twitter.com/FGTV, friend us on Facebook, and watch us on YouTube. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for joining us. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.